And now it's Boomer Life. Lifestyle ideas designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete. Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is Boomer Life with Sterling Fox.
Well, hello, and welcome to Boomer Life for a Tuesday evening here on AM 650. On the program today, we have back in studio our resident appliance repair expert on everything you need to know when it comes to appliances in your home. Our guy is Jack McIver from McIver's Appliances on Southeast Marine Drive in Vancouver. Nice to see you again.
Yes, good evening, Sterling. Nice to see you, too.
Well, thanks. It's a big year for you. 50 years, McIver's Appliances selling and servicing appliances to the residents of Vancouver. That's quite an accomplishment, Jack. Congratulations.
It hasn't been easy.
Oh. But then it's been worth it, though, hasn't it?
Oh, of course. Of course, it's been, it's great to be in a business where you can actually help people and save them money and make money. It's a totally different situation than what's happening today.
It's what
where money's made and nothing's delivered, kind of thing in a lot of cases.
It's what the movers and shakers like to call a win-win scenario, though, because you've sort of knuckled down and learned it from the ground up and built it from the ground up. Talk to us about being in business for 50 years, Jack McIver. Talk to us about the sort of pillars that a person builds a company on in a market this size and that lasts so long.
Well, first of all, you have to have a business plan that works for the customer. And then you have to have a business plan that works for your employees. You have to have a proper location. You have to have advertising that is slightly different so that you catch the attention of people listening on the radio or watching TV. Or I used to do TV advertising for quite a few years back when I had a very large business. But you build a group of customers on saving them money, not just by selling them appliances at cheaper prices, because the appliances are cheaper priced appliances because they aren't as well made.
Right, okay.
You work on quality products, buying them at the right price, and vetting everything that you sell so that the customer receives value from the products you sell, which includes the parts we sell, the fittings we sell, the elements. Everything that we sell is vetted by me personally so that I know that it's got value.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me another question.
Well, all right, no problem. No, because, again, already you're kind of bucking the trend. You're already concerned about the quality of the merchandise and the service that the customer is receiving, and you're concerned about bang for the buck or value. You know, this isn't necessarily top of mind for many of your competitors, Jack.
Oh, I know that, and I wouldn't want their salesmen working for me, because I know some of the products I sell have been in for sale in large appliance stores, and the good stuff just languished there because they didn't tell the customer about how good it was or whatever. Customer would come in and say, I want a Acme whatever.
Right.
And they would walk them to the Acme and close the deal, and that was it. So the products that we sell are something that I seized on because I had wanted nothing to do with the low-grade products. And I can tell you, low-grade products can be the high-end products.
Yes.
For cost, but they're low-end for performance and, for economy for lasting a long time at a reasonable price.
Right.
So that's where I ended up with my philosophy. And I live that philosophy because that's what I do. So
we're talking ethics here.
Yeah.
You've talked about a business plan that takes into consideration customers and staff, but you're also talking a business model that is ethical.
Yes. Well, I call it my own Consumer Protection Act, where I am the one who decides what I sell. And then it's up to me and our salespeople to sell these products. Now, when you have products like that you're selling, your sphere of influence grows because the appliances that I sell outperform anything on the market now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They can talk all they want. They can go over this and go over that and talk about energy saving and everything else. Who cares about energy saving if the thing only lasts for 3 or 4 years?
Right, right.
In the sales stores where they're selling these products, they're now telling people, well, it might be 5 to 7 years that it might last. Who needs stuff like that? People need appliances that last at least 15 to 20, 30 or more years.
Well, isn't that the mindset that we've always bought appliances with? I'm trying to remember back over the years, and for example, even growing up as a kid, how many sets of appliances we would have in our house. And I can remember my mom and dad, for example, buying a washer and dryer. We had the same dryer and washer when I left the house when I was in university as we had when I was in grade school.
Yes, that's true. And I was instrumental in keeping thousands of those appliances working for people,
right,
rather than selling them things. So we had like a three-pronged approach. We'd sell when people needed it, we'd fix when people needed it, and we'd rebuild old Maytags, for instance. We sold a lot of Maytags that last 20, 25 years before they needed an overhaul. Now, the system of the sales like they have now is, trash those and get yourself a front-load energy saver.
Right, right.
Which would last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one 5 years, and another one 5 years. Is that the world that we want?
No. So are you saying, though, if educated consumers who are out there shopping for appliances, for example, and these are reasonably big-ticket items, next to the car and the house, they're probably among the bigger ticket items you're going to spend some dough on in your lifetime.
Yeah.
So if you're smart and are asking good questions when you're on the appliance hunt trail, and you confront a salesperson and say, so what is the expected lifespan of this particular unit? Is that salesperson going to say, 5 to 7 years, maybe?
Well, from what I can understand from people, they are, yes. They're being truthful about that.
And are they right? Is that basically that all that unit is good for is maybe 5 if you're lucky 7 years?
Well, they may be optimistic.
And you think back though 20 or 30 years when they were making the same type of appliances,
yes,
they were built to last 2 and 3 times as long.
Yes, and that was deemed by the Canadian Standards Act that said that the manufacturer appliances in Canada, they had to be fit for the purpose they were designed for.
Right.
And that meant that then there had to be parts for them, and there had to be service for them. You couldn't be just dropping the stuff into the country from Korea,
right,
and say, go for it. And that was it.
And in those days, everything had to be CSA approved.
Yes.
And that's the package that you're talking
about. They wouldn't get in the country in the shape they're in now with the old standard, but they stripped the standard.
When, Jack?
Back in the free trade agreement.
So we're back into the 80s.
They didn't ask the Canadian population whether we wanted substandard appliances and electrical stuff.
They didn't discuss that as a possible condition of entering into NAFTA and the free trade agreements? We weren't consulted on that?
I wasn't there, and I don't know. all I'm dealing with is the aftermath,
right,
and the rest of society is dealing with it.
Sure.
And nobody's happy. I was in a customer's house the other day. She's got rental property that I've looked after for her, and she's bought reconditioned appliances from us, and we do service on these rental properties plus her home.
Okay.
And she said to me, I was over there looking at her fridge, and she says, well, look, Jack, I've got a 30-year-old English set in the basement. And I says, are they working good? Oh, she says, they weren't good since we've had them.
Right.
I said, I know. The stuff was great. I said, it's amazing. She says, but I'm thinking about getting new ones, and when something major happens, I said, well, the washer will go first. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have to buy a dryer. And that's where my honesty and my ethics come forward at a situation like that. She's not a young woman.
Right.
Right? She's malleable. But I do not go over that line when I deal with people. I just say to them, you don't have to buy a dryer if you don't want to. We'll even fix your dryer up to go with this new washing machine.
Right.
But you're only buying when necessary.
Well, that's pretty high ethical standards, because the temptation would be pretty great to say, so, you want a new pair? No problem. We can probably give you a pretty good price on a new pair, when all she needs is a washer.
I'm operating from the other side of, I'm interested in building influence
Right.
in the marketplace. And I am, because I know another customer is going to be coming in to get an Ariston dishwasher. I went down to look at their GE, and it was not worth fixing. And he said, boy, I sure like that Hibbs washing machine I bought from you. So I say to myself, Hibbs washing machine, loves that, likes me, good formula. And he says, yeah, my sister bought one too. I said, good. So those are the kind of things, so when you get feedback from people as you go through life, that in my business area, where I'm doing more right than wrong, satisfying customers, and have their confidence totally, I can't go wrong.
Well, and again, it's you don't last 50 years in any business in a city as large as Vancouver without developing a reputation. And in your case, the reputation is for ethical, honest business practices and high quality
Yes.
appliances that are the product. So, that's the model that you came up with 50 years ago. How have you managed to sort of stay the course all these years? I guess, there are a lot of temptations, a lot of money passes through a person's hands over 50 years.
Yes, but if you don't make money honestly, it doesn't stay with you. I've seen people make slick money and fast money, but they don't seem to keep it. I've made money, but I've become rich the old-fashioned slow way. I'm not interested in anything slick. I'm not really interested in big deals like selling to builders. They want nothing to do with me anyway, because I don't have any crap that they can buy cheap enough.
You're talking about builders of multi-unit condos and
That's
those
right.
sorts of things?
I remember a friend of ours.
There's big dough in that, Jack.
I know. And I used to do it. A lot of it. When we had a GE distributorship, we used to have carloads coming every month that were going to buildings and replacement apartments. But when the products sunk to the level they are today, I said, I don't want anything to do with this. I'm selling my building, and I'm downsizing. And I'm going to look after these people that the retail people, better, because nobody else is.
So with this attitude of quality and value and the customer being always front and center in your focus, you have carved out a reputation. You have become quite a unique character in this marketplace.
I don't mind being that character either, because as I said to you before, every hole I plug in a home or an apartment with a good quality product, I'm beating those guys every time. One other thing I'm going to say about the builder situation. A friend of mine and my wife Leslie was working for a builder who was building on the waterfront near Steveston. And she said, Jack, I'm going to talk to the owner about these Hibbs washers you got, because she had one, and see if, get them. I said, don't bother. The designer will pick out some piece of crap that fits the budget.
Right.
Builders don't do anything for buyers of their buildings.
But why then, if that's the case, why, when you flip through the Sunday papers and all those real estate ads for all of those condos and strata, this, that, and the other thing, half the ad is about the blinking appliances. Stainless steel, this, that, and the other thing, and the rest of it's about the granite and the view.
Yeah.
If they're leaning on all of those shiny new appliances, and you're saying that they may be well shined up, but in terms of standing up well, they're not really high-value products.
They aren't. But there's nothing we can do about that, and there's nothing anyone can do about that because the floodgates have been opened on this way of doing things.
Right.
And all I'm saying to you is I do not participate with those type of builders because it's not in my game. It's not in my game. I could have a great big business, but you also it's great big risk dealing with these guys. All of them don't stay in business. I mean, they go broke every once in a while. Mm-hmm. And we had the biggest bankruptcy of any company here not too long ago over those places down in Falls Creek.
That's right.
And the city's still on the hook for that for $100 million or so.
That's right. Serious.
So do you think I want to deal with those kind of guys?
Right.
I did. I don't really care for it that much.
This is Boomer Life on AM 650. Our guest in studio is Vancouver's resident appliance guru, Jack McIver from McIver's Appliances at 610 Southeast Marine Drive in Vancouver. Lots more ahead. I want to go back to this free trade business and how standards came to be changed a couple of decades ago. And we'll talk about that and a whole lot more after this quick timeout.
Canada's only weekly radio show dedicated to the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on AM 650.